Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia and I'm obsessed with stickers and planning, so if you are too, you're in the right place. My channel is full of plan with me's, sticker hauls, and other planning videos. All of my videos have timestamps in the description so you can skip around to different sections and to different shops in my hauls. And if this is your 20th time listening to this intro, you can go ahead and skip this too. All my social media links, including Instagram, are in the description, as well as all the supplies I use and notes about each video. The planner I'm currently using is my standard size vertical planner, which I use for decorative memory planning. I also just want to add a couple quick notes about me since I don't always remember to go into detail in my videos, and for new viewers it can be confusing. So when I mention work, I'm referring mostly to my bookkeeping position at a grocery store, and when I mention Anastasia, or Anna for short, she is my pet ball python. So let's go ahead and get started with this video, and I hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, I hope y'all are super excited about today's video because it is finally the long-awaited, highly requested sticker organization video. I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about this. I'm going to kind of make it up as I go along because I have a lot to show. So this may be kind of interesting to see how this goes. But I am basically just going to bring out my binders and go through the ones that are kind of uniquely organized, because I do have 14 binders right now. 13 are stickers. One of them is like extra organizational pockets and such. But I do have 13 binders for kits and character stickers and foil, so I'm not going to go through every single one. That will be in another series that I may do, which is going to be every single sticker sheet I own, and that's going to be probably several videos, but I am going to go over in this video kind of the general organization style for each type of sticker. So I just am going to bring up my binders to show you, which is why I'm way zoomed out, so hopefully this is going to work, and you'll be able to see everything that you need to. So we're going to see how this goes. So I do have my character sticker binder number 1 pulled out here that I'm going to start with. I do have 4 binders for character stickers specifically. 3 of them are just general categories, and then 1 of them is holidays and seasonal and event specifically. That is a lot smaller, but I anticipate that as more shops come out with more seasonal and holiday stickers, that's going to grow, because right now people are re-releasing a lot of their holiday stickers each year, so there aren't many opportunities to buy new ones, and also it's just not as common of a thing. I feel like people don't generally do a wide variety of holiday or seasonal stickers, and I feel like there are a lot of niches that can be filled in that regard, such as making stickers for a lot of everyday activities, but like putting holiday spins on them, like you know, typically you have your girl on a laptop stickers, and you know, people do the whole seasonal thing where they just make the character wear, you know, a seasonal sweater or something like that. You could do that with a lot of other activities, and I'm kind of waiting for that to bulk out my holiday section so that my holiday spreads will include more of those types of stickers and be more festive. So I'm sure that is a niche that is going to be filled in the future, so that binder will get bigger. But my other character binders are already pretty chunky. So this is character binder number 1. This is how I relabeled them. I used to have a different labeling system, but now I just use clear paper and clear sticker paper, and then I just printed it out like that and cut it out by hand, because I was like, I'm not going to out my silhouette for something as easy as rectangles, because silhouettes are notoriously finicky and it takes forever to get them to cut where you want to cut, have the alignment right. So I didn't want to mess with it for this. So I just slapped on a characters 1 at the very top, and I didn't put anything on the front, no extra deco, and that's really it for the labeling on the side. I like to keep on playing because, again, I have 14 binders, so I don't know, I'm not super creative with decorating other things that are not in my planner. So yep, just plain white for now, and when I put it in with all the other binders, nothing on the front is going to get messed up or ruined or anything. So super plain. all my well, not all my binders are the same, but they are kind of the same general type, which is just white binders with sleeves on the front, plastic sleeves, so you could put things inside if you need to, pockets on the inside. Some of them are circular rings and some of them are D rings. The bigger ones, the 3-inch binders, do have the black clasp that you can use to open the rings. I will show you those when I show you those binders, obviously. But yes, I do have one 1.5-inch binder, 2 3-inch binders, and the rest are, I think, 2.5 inches. So this is a 2.5-inch. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's open it up. Things are already falling out. I don't like to keep things in the pockets on the side, but right now I'm kind of having trouble deciding how to store my stickers that I have. I don't quite want to add them to my actual collection because I'm not super in love with the quality of my old designs. But like I still use them, and I haven't found stickers to replace them yet. I haven't checked out every sticker shop in existence. Like I've said before, I have a list of about 90 shops I need to check out still. So there are probably stickers in one of those shops that will replace these and fit my needs. But for now, I'm just keeping them here because I don't really know what to do with them in the meantime. That is the only thing that is not really super fine-tuned in terms of my organization. Everything else is, though, and that's okay. Everything is always a work in progress. So as for the actual contents that I want to show you, I do have one of these page lifters in every binder because they do get really thick really fast, and I want to preserve these pockets, I guess is what they're called. I want to preserve the quality and so they don't break. So I do have these page lifters in place on the front only. There's a rule that you're supposed to use 2 of them if you have a circular ring, and then only 1 in the front if you have a D ring. However, I just have 1 in the front of all of them, but I think most of them are D rings. This is a D ring, so it's okay. So yeah, it's just my little extra bougie touch there. So at the very beginning of Characters 1, I have just a uncategorized pocket of scripts that are super general. I don't think I'm going to make this a whole section unless I come up with more super general scripts that I need, but these I just want to be able to grab just right at the beginning because I know that I'm probably going to use all of these in pretty much every or at least some of these in pretty much every spread. So I have my with stickers, my scripts. I have with the fam and with the boys here, the boys meaning Aiden and Alex, my 2 best friends who live closest to me. And then I have my months here that go at the top of every spread because in the new planner that I use, those are not included, and I just really like the look of it. So I have some from Kissy's Creations and Letters to Apollo in 2 different sizes. So those are just general scripts, and now let's get into the very first section, which has always been work. I pretty much keep my sections in the same order. I don't know why. I'm really attached to the way I initially organize things, and that's like I basically memorized where everything is. And when you have 4 character binders, it's a lot to have to rememorize if I reordered it. So there is no real rhyme or reason to the order of the sections, but basically just muscle memory at this point. So work is the first section. It is actually kind of a big one. Some of my sections are really small, but this is a surprisingly big one. But yeah, so I've included all of my work and office and studying and other work-related subjects in here. So in this first section, I have laptops. I have a whole different section for laptop characters because they would be too chunky if I combined them into one category. It would be too thick and it would break the pocket. So that's kind of one of the requirements for how I separate out my pockets. I have some sections that theoretically would make sense if you just kept them all in one, but I have too many stickers, so I needed to find some way to divide them. And some of the divisions make more sense than others. We'll get to my Animal Crossing section and how I had to split that out. I could have done it a couple ways, and I just chose one kind of randomly. And as that section grows, it may make more sense to divide it in a different way, and I'll have to make new labels. but that is a bridge that we will cross at a later date, because I'm constantly adding sections and adding labels as my collection grows, and you know, I do have 90 more shops to check out, so I can anticipate that it's going to change a lot more in the future, and that is okay. I just need to find storage space for all these freaking binders, let me tell you. All right, I need to find a way to like keep them upright, so when I take one out, like the other 10 next to it don't like collapse. I'm sure there's like ways you can organize your shelves to do that, but I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. But if you have that many binders, I swear, I can't imagine there are that many people like me who are like insane, literally. If you are, let me know though, so I'm not alone. But okay, so that's kind of a, back on track, that's kind of a requirement for how I split up my sections, is just the thickness, because these pockets are kind of a little bit fragile. They will break pretty easily. If there's like a slight rip on this side, I won't replace the whole pocket, but if it's all the way down here, I will, and that has happened in the past. However, as I flip through, you will see some that are ripped slightly, but I'm just like, I can't, you know, keep buying pockets every time they rip a little bit, because then I would constantly be buying pockets and having to relabel, and it is a huge pain in the patootie, so I don't want to do that. So down here we have printing and accounting. My current job is pretty much just accounting. As I've said before, and as I've said in my intro, I do bookkeeping. I am head bookkeeper for my local grocery store, which means I handle all the finances of that store. Some people still think bookkeeping means I take care of the books, like reading books. No, I take care of the money books. So yeah, all the finances in the store pass through me. It is a very important job, and I like to think I'm really good at it. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I do have a whole section just for accounting. I'm not going to actually take these stickers out and go through them in this video. Again, that's going to be a whole series on every sticker sheet I own, which I will probably do when I have more stickers. I don't know why I would wait, but I'm going to wait. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of give you an overview. So I do have accounting. These are mostly budgeting stickers in here, actually, because not many shops have like accounting specific sheets, but like same thing generally. So that's my current job, so that's why it has its own section and is separate from budgeting. I have a whole budgeting section too. So I have my printers in here. And while we're on this first page and I'm kind of explaining the overview of how I organize, I also want to bring your attention to this, because this strategy I'm very proud of, and I haven't seen anybody else do it. I just think this is like way smarter than how I've seen other people do it, which is when other people get extra stickers from samplers and such, or they have, you know, one sticker left on a sheet and they don't want to keep the whole sheet taking up space. What they do is generally they move it to a reusable sticker book. So you have, you know, the sticker backing paper. They have a whole book of it. They sell them now. Different sticker shops sell them too. I think you can get them from Once More with Love, and I think Simply Gilded maybe. I'm not sure, but they're doing them too. So you just have a whole like spiral notebook of these sheets, and so they have all their stickers in there from samplers, and they have them labeled with section names like this too, if you want to get really fancy about it. And I know that Andrea of SBC does that, and probably a million other planners do that as well. I used to kind of do that I didn't have a whole sticker book, but I used to kind of do that strategy where I would keep them all on like a single 8x11 sheet of sticker paper, and I would kind of glance there first every time that I needed a certain type of sticker. But over time I began to realize that was it was just really annoying having to do that, and I knew that I wasn't that if I forgot to do that, to glance at that sheet first, that I wasn't using a lot of these stickers that I had, and it just makes more sense for me if I need a certain type of sticker to go to one place for it instead of two places. Because if I need, you know, a blue sticker of a laptop, and I glance at my miscellaneous sheet first, and there isn't a blue sticker, but there is like a gray laptop, then I feel pressure to use the gray one, and then it's not as optimal as it could be if I know that I have blue laptop stickers like on a sheet in that section. So I decided to just combine it, put all of my laptop stickers in one place. So I basically just cut some sticker paper in half when I, you know, use up a sheet from a kit or something. I basically just cut that sheet in half, pretending they're the same size. But yeah, I would have that. I would cut this in half, and then I have the perfectly sized sticker sheet to fit into one of my sections, and then that goes into the section. So it's all in one place. All these stickers from samplers are all at the very front of my laptop section, so that when I need to go get a laptop sticker, I can quickly see, okay, here are all the extras I have that I need to try to use up first. Okay, there's nothing that's the size and color that I need, so I'm just gonna look behind them and I'm gonna dig one out from here. So I'm gonna find one that way. So just one place, I'm gonna find the sticker that I need in there no matter what. I'm not gonna look in 5 different places for a laptop sticker. If I need a foiled laptop sticker, I'm gonna go into the foil binder first, which I always do before every plan with me. I always grab the foil stickers first, and then I grab the non-foiled stickers. I have like a whole system, and I will go over that in a future video as well. But I just think the strategy works so much better. Of course, when I have a bunch of extras that lead to 2 sticker sheets, it's kind of annoying because I have to take these out and spread these out, and I have to compare these to these. But again, it's much easier, I think, than having to flip through a whole sticker book, and then kind of being pressured to make a decision from that instead of having everything all in one physical place. So that's kind of my genius strategy. Feel free to use that if you like, and also let me know if other people are doing this kind of thing, because I don't know, I feel like it's really revolutionary and makes more sense than having your stickers in 5 different places. So that is something I'm really proud of. But yeah, so that's kind of the general overview of how I organize everything. Now we can just keep flipping through the sections, and if I see more things that I want to kind of explain, I will do so. Oh yeah, so now we get into having scripts. So first of all, let me just go over the sections. Here we have payday, day off. I don't have very many day off stickers. I think I have just one sheet. And then we have working, so just general like office work is in here. And then working negative, so like being too busy or stressed out or working late or stuff like that goes in here. And yes, I did have enough of those stickers so that they get their own little chunky category. So there's 2 things I want to note while we're here. One is that, yes, some categories only have 1 sticker sheet currently, and it does seem kind of silly, but there's a couple reasons why. One is that if I anticipate the section will grow in the future, I will just section it off so that I have a place to put things when I get them. And another is that if it's a certain type of sticker, it may not necessarily fit into another category nicely. Like day off, there isn't really another category in this section that this would fit in. Maybe it would fit in with work, but I wouldn't think to look there because day off is obviously the opposite of work, so I wouldn't think about it. So it just makes more sense for it to have its own category, even if it's just one. You know, I've had this since the beginning, and I haven't added more to the section because I don't really mark days off. I just mark what I do on those days off, but again, it just makes more sense for me, and it kind of fits in nicely with everything, so that's why I have that. And then the second thing I wanted to note while we're here is, actually there's 2 things. Sorry, there's 3 things total that I want to mark, that I want to note here. So the second one is script storage. Now, I've been lately considering possibly moving script storage to a new binder because I just have so many and they take up so much space in these sections already. As you will see later, I have had to be kind of creative about how I store my scripts, but when I just have 1 script for a section, it's super easy. I just keep it at the front like this. If I have one of these little miscellaneous sheets, I'll put those in front of the scripts, so I kind of have a way of organizing each section within that section. So the order would be miscellaneous, scripts, and then the actual sticker sheets, and sometimes they are in a particular order as well. I'm like super organized, guys. So yeah, so if I have just 1 sheet of scripts for that category, it fits really nicely, and there's no issue with that. And I just keep it all in one place again, because if I'm grabbing a busy day sticker, I'm probably going to need a script to mark that as well, and I will just take one of those scripts and I will put it on my pre-planning sheet, which a lot of people do to make their plan with me's go a little faster, so you're not digging through all these categories during the video, because can you imagine me trying to dig through like 15 binders during the video? That just wouldn't work anymore. So that's kind of how I do that. Again, everything all in one place, super easy. So that's why I did not make the decision to move my script storage to a different binder. Maybe in the future, as I get more scripts, I may have to do that, but I don't really anticipate getting that many more scripts. because I really have pretty much all the ones that I need. The only thing would be to get varieties from different shops. So we'll tackle that when we get to it, you know, if that becomes an issue. Okay, so then thing number 3 is that sometimes miscellaneous things do not fit so nice and neatly into one category, so I'll kind of combine them a little bit. So this is the working miscellaneous sheet right here with all my little random working stickers, but it does include a few random others, like this kind of life search sticker. I don't know where the heck to put that. So because it's a computer screen, essentially, I put it on the working miscellaneous sheet, and the calendar is on there also because, you know, it kind of fits in an office, the to-do list, same kind of thing. So I generally know where to look if I'm looking for one of those stickers specifically, or if I'm just flipping through when I glance at it and I see that, I'm like, hey, I could use that, then I can just grab it. So I'm not super strict about that. I'm not gonna, like, I do have a section for time. I'm not just gonna put a whole miscellaneous sheet in there just for this one calendar sticker. So I kind of combine them a little bit. All right, so moving on. Now we have sections for email, which is kind of a small section. Technology problems. Yes, I have a whole section just for technology problems because there's a lot of sticker sheets out there regarding technology problems, and no wonder, because laptops and printers and silhouettes all have crap tons of issues. Like, they all malfunction at some point. And then I have a section for retail because I did have to be a cashier at least one day a week for a large time period at my current place of work. However, due to medical problems, I no longer have to do that. So I may be getting rid of this section as soon as I reach the end of that time period where I was doing that. I may get rid of the rest, or I may just use these tomorrow going to the grocery store, and I may move them to the grocery section. So we will see about that. I also have a job search section. And another thing I want to note is that, sure, these do look a little bit wrinkled, and if the labels do get too wrinkled, or like the ink fades and there starts to be white splotches showing through, I will typically replace the label at that point, and if it's too wrinkly, I may just replace the whole pocket. But if it's only a little bit like this, that's fine. I'll keep it. I can still see what it is. But that's also another reason for the page lifter, is because when in my foil binder, it was so thick that the front like 5 pockets were all like super bent, and the labels were completely like faded, and it just wasn't working for me. So I split that binder into 2, so I had 2 foil binders, and then I started incorporating the page lifters. So that's kind of to prevent that. But yeah, when you have this many stickers, that's a real issue. And so the last page here, we have scripts, studying, and then I just put the studying miscellaneous sheet over here in one of the spare ones, which I will also do just to kind of make it easier to see what I'm working with. And then again with the whole scripts thing, so I could put these work scripts with the work or just working category, but I do have quite a lot of work scripts and I anticipate getting even more, so I decided that they needed their own category, and I was already gonna make a new page just for the studying section, so I decided I might as well put the script section in here as well. So yeah, that's kind of my theory behind that. And also, I know where it is by now. I have muscle memory, so if I need a work script, I'm not going to forget that I have it. If I'm just looking at the work section, I know that it's back here. So yeah, that is the work category, general category. And now let's get into flat lays. It's so funny to me. This is because I don't have a whole section just for like half box stickers that are of a certain size, and you would have to reach for them kind of separately. I don't have a section separate for that. I just kind of work them into the sections that they go with. But flat lays do get their own section. I don't know, I guess they're just special. Because, I don't know, frequently always when I do my pre-planning and I do the whole kind of outline of where each sticker is going to go, which yes, I do that, so that my plan with me goes smoothly. I actually plan for where I'm going to put flat lays. If I have enough space, and I generally know that I have a flat lay sticker for that, I will plan that space out for a flat lay, or if I don't have one of those, probably a half box sticker if I do have one of those. So it does make more sense for me to have these all sectioned off so that when I know that I'm reaching for a flat lay, I can just go to the section real quick, because it's only 8 different sections in here. So I'm not, you know, searching through one of my 4 binders for that specifically, although holidays are separate, so if I'm needing a holiday flat lay, those are going to be in that binder. But yeah, so that's why my flat lays are separated out. So we have laptop flat lays, reading, planning, miscellaneous, savory food, sweet food. There's a lot of food flat lays out there, guys. Cooking, and then baking, of which there are much fewer. But yeah, so that's flat lays. And then we have the people section. This used to be couples, the couples section, but I had my my family and friends stickers in the miscellaneous section, but those sections were getting really chunky and I needed to separate them out further. So I decided just to group all of the people categories into one giant category. So here we have the people section. So my couple stuff is first, because this is just how it was already grouped. So we have couples bedtime, movie time, meal time. These are for my significant other specifically. If I want to add these stickers onto cute notes that I give him or letters that I send him, that's kind of what these are for. I'm a big fan of writing cute notes. And then we have FaceTime, which only has 1 sheet in it, but I haven't really bought many couple stickers lately because I wasn't really seriously dating for a couple years. But yeah, I guess now I'm gonna have to slug up, huh? Because I have a boyfriend of several months. So then we have cat couples. Yes, I do have sections just for cat couples because I think they're so cute. Well, 2 shops do cat couple stickers. So we have paper and thread, formerly known as Sweet Ibis paper. We have those in here, and then the fox and cactus ones too. So I just think those are really cute. And yeah, they get their own section. It doesn't really make sense in terms of how I plan, but sometimes I have cat couple stickers for something that I don't have a normal couple sticker for. So I generally look through both if I need something. And then we have just couples in general. A lot of these are skin tone and hair color specific, so I'm kind of unsure whether I'm going to keep the ones that were specifically made to look like a previous partner, or you know, just keep them for the future in case I break up with my current boyfriend, or whether I just want to toss those so I don't have those memories, and just replace them completely with new ones. I'm not really sure about that. But for now, I'm going to keep them because it was, you know, quite a monetary investment. And then I have a couple scripts up here. This is more a category that I made recently in anticipation of actually getting more scripts for my current partner, at least, in the future. Because right now I just have cuddle time in there, so I may put more in there in the future. And so now we have family and friends. So we have family in here. I do have a lot of family scripts, so those are all in there as well. And then we have guy friends and girlfriends down here. And my generic friend stickers, I also put in the guy friends category. So I have these 3 sheets of like multiple friends or animal friends stickers. I would put them in their own general friends category, but that would involve putting a whole nother pocket in here just for one category, and I'm gonna wait on that. So if I need a whole category just for, you know, one specific person, which I could do that because these stickers, a lot of them are again made to look like certain friends that I have. So if I need to separate that out further, then I will go ahead and do that and add a friends category, but right now it's all in one. And then I have scripts of my friends' names and things related to them, and then visit and visits, which I've discussed when I hauled those scripts. It just makes more sense to keep them with people because the people are the ones that are visiting. I think we missed something. Oh yeah, my empty category, which is him. And I basically just left that there for when I get stickers of like just a guy, because I think more shops are doing that, where instead of like your only option for guy stickers are in a couple, I'm thinking that there are probably some out there where you can get just the guy. I think you can do that from Fox and Pip now too. So if I get a sticker meant to look like my current partner only, and whatever I want to use that for, then that will go in that category. So I already have kind of ideas of what I want to get. I'm just not choosing to get those quite yet, but that's what will go in there. I don't often do categories in anticipation and just leave them blank. I don't really do that. This is the only one, but it's something that I know I'm going to fill up soon, so that is what that is for. All right, so that is the people section. Oh yeah, while we're here, I'm just going to show you that in future categories, you will see that I alternate between having the 4 quarter-size pockets and the 2 half-size pockets for the bigger sticker sheets. But those I only planned for when I knew that I already had the bigger sticker sheets. So if I have a quarter size category, but I have a bigger sticker sheet that I need to put into it, at this point I just don't really care, and I just fold them in half when there's, you know, a nice fold line, or I'll cut them if there isn't. So that's what that is. I don't really like that, and it takes up double the space in thickness, but it would take up double the space in length if I made a whole wide category for it. So that is kind of random and based chronologically on when I got the sticker sheet, whatever size the pocket is. But yeah, I pretty much just stick to quarters now, unless I have, you know, I need to make a new category and I have a wide sticker sheet, then, or I just bought a wide sticker sheet that needs a category, then I might use a wide pocket for that. So now let's get into the mail section. Okay, this is kind of a small section. It's a new section that I just made recently when I did the reorganization, because I was trying to separate out my miscellaneous section, which was like really enormous, and I thought that was kind of silly because there was definitely some things in there that I could separate into their own sections. So I took out some of the family and friends to put in the people section, and I made the mail section all by itself. I think that's the only things that I did. No, I took out the animals too. But yeah, so here's the mail section. I did this because there were already 2 sheets, 2 pockets, I guess, that consisted of mail related stuff, and 2 is pretty much my minimum for having its own category. So yeah, so for mail we have waiting for mail, we have a whole section just for packages and 1 for letters. This is just the mail miscellaneous, which is 2 sheets, so it kind of goes in the spare pocket. And we have 2 wide ones, so we have 1 for sending happy mail and then 1 for kind of receiving happy mail, but I just had it generically labeled happy mail. And then the happy mail scripts go in here too. However, my thank you note scripts go in the sending happy mail category for obvious reasons. So that's kind of how I have that separated out. And now for the enormous miscellaneous section. So I do have some of my custom character stickers that I've had, or that I've bought and had done, put up here. I have gotten several recently that I really need to put in here, but including one from Papershire. But these are just some of the older ones. That's actually next on my list, is to print those out. So that's there. I should really honestly put these in like the various characters sections that they are appropriate for. Like my WIMSicalCatStudio one is like a fall themed girl, so she should go in the seasonal binder, but oh well, I don't know. I just have them here already and I just don't really want to move them right now. So I also have a shaving up here, and this is a wide section because for the longest time the only shaving stickers I had were my own, and then I have this one Smart with Love sheet that I think is discontinued, so not too many shaving stickers out there. And then we have a section for time, so there's alarm clocks and calendars in there. That's a new section. So is angels. I don't really know why I have a whole section just for angels, but I have like 2 angels sheets, and like where else are they gonna go? So it's kind of where they are. I don't even know really what I'm gonna use them for, but that's where they are. And then down here we have self-care, which is essentially just like makeup. And like, no, there isn't really anything else. Like my miscellaneous sheet has like paint nails and bath and shower, but I don't know, I don't paint my nails. I do glue on nails from Amazon. And then my shower stickers are pretty much in the hair section because they're mostly just washing hair. So there's probably just only makeup in here really. And then yeah, hair, like I said, is for brushing hair, washing hair, and cutting hair. Everything hair related. And then we have the sick section, this is separate from the doctor and dentist section. That is in another binder for reasons I will explain later, but this is just generally being sick. And then we have medicine, so just for medication, taking it and picking it up. A whole headache section, of course. I do get headaches an awful lot. And then injuries. And then stomach ache, which used to be cramps, but I get stomach aches generally more than cramps, so changed it. Although I think a lot of these are actually just cramp stickers. I just labeled it stomach ache because it made more sense in my life. I don't know. And then we have kind of the travel section. I could probably, no, I don't know. I could maybe put this in its own like bigger section, but right now not really, especially because I don't have a car. When I get a car, I'll probably have a section just for like getting gas and car maintenance and other things like that. But right now I don't have a car, so it doesn't make sense to have that. So that'll be something for the future. But I do have a whole traffic section, lol. Like I'm ever caught in traffic. Well, if I'm in a car with somebody else, then yeah. But yeah, so then we have packing and then general travel. What do I even have in here? Probably just like airport stickers, because for actual transportation, I have the transportation section, and then I have one just for cars as well. Then we get into shopping, so we have like in-person shopping here. We have specific online shops, so like Amazon, eBay, and Etsy. And then this is my own sticker sheet that I have in here that I'm just keeping because I like that I have the specific store logos on here. And then I have online shopping down there, which I use a lot. However, I don't have enough stickers for that section, unfortunately. And then we have the moving section up here. Getting into weather, we have the generic weather section, which is split. We have rainy day over here and hot weather over here, because I have a lot of stickers for each of these, enough that they deserve their own section. And then natural disasters is in here as well. All right, that's a little sticky. I need to take that off. So now we have nap time. This section is really thick, and I needed to find a way to separate it out, and I could have done this probably a couple ways as well. I was originally going to do it for sleeping stickers and then just tired stickers, because I have a lot of just plain tired stickers as well. But I decided just to put the scripts in a different category, because I did have a lot of those too. I think I had like a couple more sheets of scripts than I had of just I'm tired stickers. So that was my kind of decision on that, although this still like is too thick, I feel like. And I'm always needing like more sleep script or stickers than I actually have. I'm always on the lookout for more, so I will probably have to separate that out even further in the future. Down here we have exercise, which I don't really use that much because I don't like to exercise outside of hiking really. So I have stretching stickers in here and scale stickers. Here I have a whole section just for walking. It's not the hiking section, it's just the walking section, because there are times where I like to mark just walking around town or whatever. So then here we have a section just for phones. Phone calls and texting are both included in there, and then we have video chat over here. So it could be like FaceTime or Skype or whatever, or Discord, which is what I use with my friends. Here we have generic emotions, and then I do have it separated out further into negative emotions here. Positive emotions is actually way back here because that's a new section. Positive emotions, and then we have more negative emotions, anger and sadness. And then just randomly I had children's stickers that I was actually using, so instead of the hoarding section I moved them to here. So we have pregnancy and children, and then we have the food baby section. Why I didn't put this in with food, I literally have no idea. I'm just now realizing that it has the word food in the name, so why would I not put that in the food binder? Probably because it's more of a feeling to me, so I had to put it with the emotions, is feeling full. So that's that. And then we have news, because a lot of stickers have come out lately due to all the crazy stuff in the news lately, so I'll have a section for that. Haven't used any yet, but again, I'm a year behind on back planning, so I'm sure I will. And then positive emotions, like I said, and then therapy. And that is the end of this binder. So that's characters 1. I'll probably have enough time to go over characters 2 because there's only 2 major sections in there. So let's go ahead and quickly move on to that binder. Okay, so as promised, here's characters 2. Only 2 major sections in here, pop culture and food and drinks. So here's the little page lifter, and then my random stickers here. This sheet is way too big to fit into any size pocket without cutting it or anything, so I'm just keeping it in the side pocket for now. I did get this at a D-stash. Otherwise I don't think I would have purchased it on my own, but it is Pretty Little Liars related, and I haven't seen those stickers anywhere else, and I'm obsessed with Pretty Little Liars, so I just had to keep it. And then I'd have just a spare miscellaneous backing sheet in there too. I do have a whole section for those in one of my other binders, but that is just there to be handy in case I need one, just one. Alright, so let's get into pop culture. This is these are both enormous sections, which is why there's only 2 in this binder, but yeah, this section is separated out, I feel like, a lot more specifically than most people would do it, but that's just because I'm obsessed with pop culture and books and movies and shows, so it just makes more sense for me to have such delineated, let me speak properly, delineated sections. So yeah, the first part is not super in a rhyme or reason, and the later part's not necessarily. It just is, again, chronologically on when I decide to add a whole section just for that specific fandom. So on the first page we have Star Wars, with the Star Wars movie scripts in there as well. Studio Ghibli. This is Disney, but like non-Disney princess. So this is like other Disney properties and Pixar in here, and also Disney scripts. And then we have Harry Potter characters specifically in here. So these are stickers specifically of Harry Potter characters, because we also have, I call this Harry Potter girls, but it's like just characters dressed like Harry Potter, essentially. So there are girls in here, but there is, of course, a guy. This, I think, is actually Harry Potter, and he should be in the Harry Potter characters, but the sticker sheet was too big, so that's where it is. And then we have Harry Potter deco, so just any non-character Harry Potter sticker goes in here, along with the scripts. And then we have the generic movies and TV section, so this is anything that doesn't have its own separate category in either movies or TV. And then this is generic Disney princess, like sampler sheets, and also villains, which I threw in with the princesses because this is a bigger pocket than the Disney pocket is, so it makes more sense. So I do have a lot of sampler sheets in there, but the specific Disney princesses do get their own categories, so some are not as full as I would like them to be, but again, in the future they will be a lot fuller. So we also just randomly have Winnie the Pooh and Marvel in here as well before we actually get into the princesses. So we have Belle, Alice. I actually just labeled them by the name of the princess because I thought that was prettier sounding than the actual movie, and the whole movie might not necessarily fit. So we have Beauty and the Beast, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, of course, who's not a real princess, but it's my favorite thing ever, so she gets her own category with the princesses anyway. Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, Mulan from Mulan, Anna and Elsa from Frozen, Ariel from The Little Mermaid, Jasmine from Aladdin, hilariously, Tiana from Princess and the Frog, Rapunzel from Tangled, and Snow White from Snow White, Pocahontas, Cinderella, Merida from Brave, Moana, and that is it for the princesses so far. And so over here we have one more movie, Mean Girls, and then some shows. These two I just decided in the reorganization to make categories for, because they are like some of my top 4, they're in my top 4 favorite shows, and I do have more than one sticker sheet for each one, and I'm gonna be wanting to mark these a lot more often when I binge them, so it makes sense to have their own category. Same with Stranger Things, I'm still watching that show as well, so Stranger Things, The Office, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. And that is it for pop culture, and now food and drink, which is probably my biggest section because I love collecting all the food stickers and the drink stickers too. So we have sushi and Asian food in two separate categories because they're both too chunky on their own. Burgers and sandwiches. Meal prep, I should probably move this to the front. We have meal prep and then breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Meal prep is really just cooking, so I don't know why I just don't move that to the cooking category, but some sheets are specifically labeled meal prep, so I just get pressured into putting them in their own category. And then here I have drinking. I was going to separate this out into like wine and then mixed drinks, but I don't feel like I have to do that quite yet. It's not that chunky, but it may get to that point. Those are really the only things I drink. I don't drink like beer or anything. And I barely drink wine. This is a new category, group meal. I only have like a couple sheets in here, or a few, but yeah, just for like family feasts and stuff like that. Thought that would be good to have its own section. Here we have Latin food. It used to be burritos only, but there's like some tacos in here I think as well, and nachos, so just decided to make it more general. And then we have miscellaneous food in here. Again, it's kind of just towards the middle based on chronology, but of when I created these categories. But yeah, anything miscellaneous falls in here. Here we have fruit, donuts. I don't even like donuts that much, but y'all know my struggles with donuts if you've been a subscriber for a while. Then we have ice cream and sweet treats. This is like the sweet miscellaneous section, and that one is the savory. Pastries, including bagels. I guess I count those even though they're not really sweet. Then we have chocolate, candy, s'mores, macarons, popsicles, crepes. Yeah, you can tell I have a sweet tooth because I have so many specific categories just for some very specific types of desserts. And then we have junk food in here. I was going to call it fast food, but I thought junk food made more sense because like there's chips in here too, chips stickers, and those aren't necessarily like fast food. You can get those at the store, so junk food. And then we have drinks here. So we have, this is basically just like coffee. So we have coffee, Starbucks specifically, like with a Starbucks cup. This is more like just little cups of coffee. And then frappuccinos, because I do love my fraps. And then I did make this a tentative like boba section. I used my boba miscellaneous sheet in here because I haven't tried boba yet, but in anticipation of liking it, I kind of have this here. So I may make this the boba section later and start buying boba stickers. We'll see. Tea was like my original favorite before I started drinking coffee, so it has its own like really large section. Like this is a very thick tea section. And then pizza gets its own big section as well. I do love me some pizza. And then cooking and baking are last, and they are both wide pockets. So well, there you go. That is it for this section. Should I do, or that's it for this binder actually. Should I do binder number 3? Yeah, I think I can make this a little bit of an extra long video and at least go over my 3 main character binders. So let's go ahead and get into number 3. Okay, so I believe that next on the list was to look at character sticker binder number 3, which is this one. So let's go ahead and get into that. This is the last of my normal character stickers. In the pocket of this one, I just have one sheet, which is my Minecraft logos that I made for myself back when I was playing Minecraft a lot in like my first year of planning, my first few months actually. Then I kind of stopped. And the reason I held on to this was because I only have like one sheet of like Minecraft character stickers, or doodles I guess, from Papershire. Haven't seen them really at any other shop that I've looked at. And I just like these because it's so simple to mark with just the logo over some washi or just over a plain bougie background, because you don't have to write anything. So again, I'm just keeping them in here because I don't want to integrate them into main storage. It would be kind of a hassle because I don't have the wide pockets in that section, and again, I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do with it. I would cut it, but I kind of didn't make it easy for myself to cut it, so just going to leave it there. Alright, so let's get into the actual categories. so we're going to start with chores. This is kind of a smallish category, but there's enough in here, and I feel like it's probably gonna grow at some point as I like actually do more. Because the thing is, right now I'm living in a house, but I have like 4 roommates, whom I thankfully don't see very often. So it really feels like I have the house to myself a lot, which is fantastic. But like, it's not my house, so I do my share of cleaning, and probably more than my share, because certain people whom I share things with do not like to clean as much and probably wouldn't do a good job. But I do my share, but like, I don't give it the love and attention that I would if it were my own house. I really can't wait to build my own house in the future, and at that point I will probably embrace a lot more responsibilities in regards to that. But right now I kind of tend to do the minimum, I guess. So I don't have that many categories in this section, but I will go over what I have right now. There's definitely room to grow. I think there's some blank spaces in there, but I'll show you what I have right now. So we have cleaning. This is just generic cleaning, but there's also washing dishes and vacuuming in here, which are the 2 that I probably mark the most often. There's not really a lot of times that I do deep cleaning, although I have been deep cleaning more lately, because obviously my boyfriend comes over and we spend, like, I haven't been to his house yet. We spend pretty much all our time at my house, so I need to make sure everything looks, perfect for when he comes over. So I'll be marking that a lot more lately. Laundry, and do laundry bi-weekly, so there's a whole section for that. Groceries is in here. I don't know why groceries is considered a chore. I just don't think I really knew where else to put it necessarily. Like, I don't have a whole section just for shopping. I mean, like a whole big tab section just for all the shopping sections. So, and I didn't put it under outings. I guess it's kind of a chore to some people. It's like an errand. Chores and errands is, I guess, what this section is. So that's why groceries is here. And then we have just general organizing. I unfortunately haven't used really almost any of these stickers, and I feel bad about that, but I have been organizing more lately. I just haven't, done those plan with me's yet, so I will dig into this eventually. But it is a pretty chunky section for one that I almost never use. It's because I'm already just so organized already. I don't have to like sit down and go through everything and organize it all that often, because I keep things organized from the get-go. And then we have home repair and DIY. I've been doing a little bit more of this sort of stuff, but I don't really do a lot of it. I don't even own a toolbox yet. I've wanted one for like years, but just never needed to pull the trigger on that, so haven't used any of those stickers yet. Water plants. I'm not a plant person. I don't really like plants unless they're like edible or there's succulents and cacti. So I haven't really used any stickers in this section either, but again, when I have a house, I might actually have plants, so it's more of a future section for me, more of a hoarding section. And then we have trash and recycling, and then these are just houses, which I pretty much exclusively use to mark paying rent or other house type things. So I have a house section, but I also have a home section. This is for various things within the house. I actually really like this section, if it is what I think it is. Let me pull it out. Yeah, so you know how Papershire, if you are familiar with Papershire, she has like all these sheets for like specific rooms in the house and like all the furniture in those rooms. I'm obsessed with those sheets, and they're like so big that I really can't imagine how frequently or easily I would be able to use them. But like, I love house interiors, as I've said about kids. I just love seeing clip art of house interiors, but I also just love the concept of it, and just having individual sheets for each room is like the coolest thing ever to me. It's like having a little dollhouse in my stickers is kind of how I look at it. So I was obsessed with those as a kid. But yeah, I just love that. So I have them all in this home section. I'm gonna have to try to use them. I have to really try, but I love that idea. And then we have clothes. There's not a lot of clothes stickers, I've noticed. It's so funny because like when you go shopping, like there's a bunch of shopping stickers you can use, but like there's not a lot of stickers to mark what you actually buy. So I really like just collecting the ones that I have. So I think I have shoes and dresses, and then I have one for earrings in there. And there's like whatever else Papershire has come out with, because honestly she's the only one who I've seen have like a variety of clothing stickers. Like these are pretty much mostly from her. So So yeah, I just think it's kind of fun when I get like a new dress or something, or new shoes or sweaters, just to mark that with that specific sticker. I just think it's extra fun to be extra specific, like when you mark going out to eat, instead of just having a dinner sticker, you have like a specific food sticker. It's just that kind of thing. So if y'all know of any more shops with specific articles of clothing as stickers, please let me know. And then we have a new section just for charge devices. I really only have this sticker from Box and Pip in here, the sticker sheet. I don't think I've seen any more elsewhere. I don't know why it gets its own section. I could probably put it with like phones or something, although that would be kind of silly because my phone is charging literally whenever I'm not using it. I mainly use this to mark charging my Fitbit and charging my Kindle. Those are the only two things that need charging. But yeah, I don't know, I don't really have any other stickers to mark charging things, so again, if you know of any more, let me know. And then I have a section for wax warmers. I should probably just rename that to wax melts, because there's a lot, well, I don't know, because right now I mostly have just wax warmer stickers, but there are a lot more wax melt stickers coming out because of the new craze. It's not really new, but it's like still picking up steam. So I may have to change that at some point. I could just put it as wax, honestly, but yeah, I may just go through and do an overhaul of the names at some point, just so I can be satisfied about that. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of a section I need more stickers to mark too, because like I've been doing wax warmers for a little bit, but like I haven't been like really enthusiastic about it, but now I'm like kind of getting more into that, so I may need more of those stickers. Alright, and then I did have these in miscellaneous before, but I did move these over to chores because it just made more sense to have budgeting and then going to the ATM as part of chores. Although this isn't called budgeting, it's called bills, which again, I really have to rename that. I literally didn't even think of that. I have to rename that to budgeting because that's what I use these stickers to mark. I guess I do mark paying bills sometimes, but just budgeting just makes more sense for the types of sticker sheets that are in this section. And then I have a lot of like ATM stickers, even though I literally never use cash and I hate cash. I only use it if I really have to. Like there's some restaurants here that only take cash, and parking sometimes only accepts cash. So I guess there are situations where like if I know I'm going to a place like that, then I will pull cash out beforehand, and that's what the ATM is for. But like it really shouldn't have its own section, but I have enough a variety of sheets for that. And I love ATM stickers. I don't know why, I just think they're really cute. So that's that. And now let's get into hobbies, which is actually a pretty thickum section, which is really funny because planning isn't even in here. Planning gets its own section, which is also pretty thickums. But all my other hobbies do encompass quite a lot because I am a hobby person. I've always had 1 million hobbies. Alright, so we're starting with, I guess, games. So we have one for video games in general. I don't even know what I have in here other than like my DS stickers. I have like all these console stickers for consoles that I don't own or use. I guess there's a Switch in there, but like I've never owned a console with a controller like that for like, I don't know, Xbox, PlayStation. Never owned any of those, never had any interest. I'm a Nintendo girl through and through. I'm not a laptop gamer. I have played like 1 or 2 games on my computer. I've played Minecraft, and what was that game that I was interested in for a little bit? There's no way I'm gonna remember it right now, but me and my friends were interested in it for a while. I can't even like describe it. I have no idea, but it was a computer game, but like I don't really do that too much. These are really cute. Why are these in here? These need to be in the couple section. I'm gonna move those because I am gonna force my boyfriend to play video games with me. He plays games, but like he doesn't play the games I play, so I'm gonna whip his butt. I have these in here. I don't even know why these are in here, because like these aren't gonna be used for like video game achievements. These are meant to be used for like life achievements, I feel like, and I'm not gonna like remember that they're there. Anyways, so that's everything I have in video games, which is really interesting because like the DS one is probably the only one I would really remember to use, because I have my 3DS, which is red, so I love that this sticker like almost perfectly represents that. But that's really the only console I own right now. I'm still saving for a Switch. I actually have money saved for one, It's only about a third or so of what I need, but I'm working on it. Of course, I do have the entire section for the Switch, which is really funny to me because I started this section, I think, after I moved, after me and Alex moved out of the same room, because he had a Switch and I played a lot on his Switch. But after I moved here and he moved to San Francisco, only then did I make a whole section just for Switch stickers and start collecting all of these when I couldn't use them anymore, which is so funny, but I will in the future. And then we have game night. This is just board games, which I'm obsessed with, and I need to get more board games. Talk about that a lot. I love some games. Drawing tablet. Why do I have drawing tablet? It's literally just an iPad. So that's another thing I'm gonna have to change when I overhaul the category names, because this is just the iPad section. Although there are some sticker sheets that are just labeled tablet, but like I have an iPad and that's the only drawing tablet I use right now, so iPad section. Reading, I think I wanted to separate this out because it's like there's so many in here that it's like so loose and they fall out if I tilt the binder a certain way. So like I wanted to put this into a quarter section, but then again, these there's a lot of big sheets, so I don't know. I want to find like some way to like secure the top of this. I could use like maybe a paper clip, but like I don't know. Maybe I can come up with like some kind of latching system. I'll have to think about that. That'd be kind of cool to do. But yeah, right now it's kind of loose. And then we have drawing down here. This is not iPad drawing. This is like drawing with pencil and pen. Although I don't really use that to draw anymore, so I should just rename this as the pencil and pen, or like writing utensils section. Writing and drawing utensil, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that, but that's not drawing. So here's the video game, individual video game categories I just put here. I don't know why these need to be here. They should probably be like in front here with the other video game stuff. I don't know, I just move that now. But yeah, so this is actually a whole new pocket that I decided to create with my big reorganization, because initially I just had one wide section for specific video games, and then they had logos in the bottom part, which was where the Minecraft sheet was. But I decided that it just made more sense to have them in their own quarter sheets, and also because I didn't have any wide stickers really for that except for the Minecraft sheet. So that's how we ended up here. And really the only things that I feel like I would be marking are Animal Crossing, Mario games, and then Minecraft. Although this is technically other games, so if I get stickers for other games, which I anticipate I might if I see any, like, you know, if somebody magically starts coming out with Professor Layton stickers or some other like really kind of obscure games that I like, then that would go here. So I'm kind of leaving this open, but right now it's just the Minecraft section. So yeah. So what I was talking about, what I hinted at earlier with the Animal Crossing stuff, is that I had to figure out a way to split the Animal Crossing section into two, because like together these two sections are like pretty chunky. So I was gonna initially split it, I think, having like specific specific Animal Crossing characters. I was gonna split that in two, versus like mixed sheets, because I do have a lot of just characters, and I will have even more in the next haul that I have to film still. But I think I ended up going with just items and like not necessarily characters, because I still had a significant number of sheets that were just like Animal Crossing doodles. Because if a shop isn't going to go all out in doing, you know, a sticker sheet for every single applicable Animal Crossing concept, then they're going to at least have just a doodle sheet. Like, there you go, for Once More With Love, that's like pretty much it. So, just a doodle sheet. So, I have quite enough of those to make their own section. So that's kind of how I split it up for now, although everybody's doing Animal Crossing stickers, so I might have to split it up further, in which case I will probably do it by characters, and we'll think of other ways to do that. But yeah, so that is how I split that up. And now let's go on to other hobbies. So these are kind of random. So we have crafting, This is mostly, for me, this section is mostly like needlework, so sewing, embroidery, which I use as cross stitching because that's what I do. I have like one cross stitching sheet, but like it's mostly just like embroidery stuff in here. But it's mostly sewing because I mend my clothes a lot and I need to mark sewing for that. So there's my cross stitching sheet. But yeah, all the others are pretty much sewing. I have some generic crafting stickers, although I don't do as much generic crafting anymore, but like I do have all the supplies, so it's a possibility. But yeah, that's mostly what that is. And then we have music. This is this actually encompasses piano too, I think, because that's the one instrument I play. Does it? Yes, it does. So there's piano in here. There's singing, which I do sometimes. I'll just jam out to whatever songs I'm craving to listen to that day. And then there's like listening with headphones. So that's everything in the music section, just so you know what kind of instruments I play and everything. Really just piano right now. Then we have ballet. I used to take ballet as a kid, but I quit. I don't know if I could actually do ballet now, but I like ballet workouts. I just like the feeling of ballet, so I have a whole section for that. It's like my favorite form of movement, kind of. And then we get into this popcorn section. Kind of goes with the whole watching stuff section, which is back here, but honestly I should move this to this empty spot because that's what makes more sense. So in the reorganization, the next one I do, I'll move that. But yeah, popcorn section, just because I needed to remove this from the watching stuff, because first of all, it's too generic to fit into either watching movies or watching TV, and I have a lot of popcorn stickers, so they needed their own section. Anyways, what did I skip? So this is kind of a newer pocket too. So we have a section for podcasts. I was making a podcast for a tiny bit with my friend, and I think he wants to continue that, but I get a little bit stressed out, so I'm kind of not jumping on that train yet. But we did do a few episodes. Didn't publish it anywhere, but we recorded them. Proud of myself for that, at least. And I also listen to a lot of podcasts, so if I ever want to mark that, then there's a whole section. Legos. I want to get more into Legos. I really want to just like buy a set and just do it like right now with Aiden or with my boyfriend or with somebody, or even just by myself. So I have a section in anticipation of that. Puzzles. I'm obsessed with puzzles. All my friends, my family, my boyfriend, we love puzzles. So there you go. And then this random sheet is kind of like a mixed sheet of, it's like lazy day, but I don't have a lazy day section because I don't have lazy days. So I don't really know even where or why I got this, but it doesn't really go anywhere, so it goes in the unlabeled pocket. And then here's the watching stuff. So we have themed movie marquees, which I'm surprised at how many shops have actually come out with these, but these are like themed specifically for certain movies, obviously. And then I needed a whole section for TV show scripts because I buy these in bulk and I keep them all in this place instead of putting the rest in hoarding, or actually in overstock. So they get their own little home right here. I really only have like maybe 4 or so for the shows that I have been watching lately. So I have Phineas and Ferb for when I still have to mark when I get to the end of that in my back planning. I have Avatar, which I did watch the entirety of, so I have hopefully enough to cover that. Legend of Korra, same thing with that. Adventure Time, which is my favorite show that I'm still watching. Parks and Rec, I'm almost done. I actually just hit the last season today. The Office, which I'm rewatching. And then Stranger Things, which I'm still like actively watching, kind of. So there's a few shows in there. And then we have separate sections for watching movies and watching TV. Not really too sure why these are separate, because I feel like watching stuff could just be one, but like I had to separate them out somehow, and like some of these are clearly like meant for watching movies. So they get their own section, and then the TVs, and there's also like little individual TV icons in here, so that's kind of useful. And yeah, so that is hobbies. And now lastly we can get into outings. Not lastly, there's 2 more sections after this, but outings is just like events or things out of the house, essentially, not including things that are in other sections. Like post office and groceries are I think the only two that I can remember that are actually in other sections for obvious reasons. So we have a section for a zoo, section for a museum. I love these things. I also love, you know, theater and music performances. Those I don't have enough stickers for, so they are in miscellaneous right now. There's a lot in miscellaneous, like bowling and golfing and that kind of stuff is in miscellaneous. There's a whole bunch in here. I don't know why I have a whole section for farmers markets. I like them, but like I don't really go enough for them to have their own section, but I guess a lot of shops have come out with stickers for that, so they get their own section. And then here's the doctor and dentist, where I hinted at that I had them in another section, so that's where these guys are. I don't have a section for eye doctor or any other kind of doctor. I think those are just kind of generically fit in doctor right now. Who did I just see that had stickers for an eye doctor? I think it was Benema Creations had like eye doctor stickers, which I thought were really cool, but like I got LASIK, so I don't really, I know I should still be going to the eye doctor, but like if I do, it's not going to be often enough for me to get a whole sticker sheet, so I would just use one of these stickers probably. I don't know why detective is in here, because that is not an outing sticker. This should go in miscellaneous, but I at one point decided this went here and now it lives here. So I have a whole section for detective stickers. Don't know why. I guess enough shops have come out with detective stickers that like I needed a section for them. Honestly, I really just use these for either mysteries at work, as in, you know, because my work is essentially accounting, so like why are we thousands of dollars off, why are we short, why are we over, who did what with this money. I mark mysteries at work that way. And I also use this for detective like shows and movies, like Sherlock Holmes. I'll mark with one of these. Love those. And then aquarium here. And then we have one for church. I don't really go to church, but it's my dream to kind of go to church. My boyfriend does, so maybe we'll go at some point. I don't know. Right now, I'd like to look up online streaming on like holidays. So like Christmas, I watched Mass on Christmas Eve and Christmas, and Easter I'll watch Mass too. And then water activities. This is also a brand new section, basically just because of Bubble WIAM. Because, oh, and I guess there's one from Some Little Things too, but yeah, all these water activities that I will probably never do, but want to be prepared in case I do them, because the people in my life like to do these things, so I can imagine I will be dragged into that at some point. And then our wide sections, we have hiking. Love that, and everybody else I know loves that too, especially here in Santa Cruz. You have to love hiking if you live in Santa Cruz. And then picnics, which also everybody loves, and I do these with everybody, so love those. All right, let's get into planning. Another bit of a chunky section, but not really that chunky, I guess. But yeah, I've managed to fit a lot of stuff into this section. So we have social media, which is mostly Facebook and YouTube in this section. I guess at some point I may separate those out, but I don't have enough Facebook stickers for them to get their own category, so I just kind of keep them together at this point. And then Instagram, I do have enough, so Instagram gets its own section. Kind of chunky. It's just, there's also just cameras in general in there, so if I need a camera for anything else, that's where I go. And then filming and filming scripts. I have so many filming scripts. They definitely needed their own section. Like, this is so chunky because I mix and match, whether I'm doing filming, editing, and uploading, and whether I'm doing Plan With Me or hauls. Like, there's, I guess, 5 million ways you can mix and match those. So I have all those stickers for that, all those scripts for that. And then filming. And then here we have more of like shop owner stuff. I do this sometimes, but again, my shop hasn't really taken off, but I've filled a few orders, so I have reason to dig in this section. So we have just generic sticker shop owner sampler sheets. I did make a section for mink and foil. I need more mink stickers. If you know of any, let me know, but I do have a mink and I love foiling things personally for myself, so need more stickers for that. Then we have listing products and packing orders. Not really thick sections, but I guess it just helps to know where things are. I did make a misc section just for these two sheets from One Ton and Million. I think these both came together as part of the planner piece. Was it the planner piece, like anniversary bundle or whatever? Was it the anniversary bundle? I don't know. I think that may be true, but But yeah, these two kind of miscellaneous sticker-related sticker sheets are part of that, so they get their own section in here. Of course, Organize Stickers gets its own section. I need more sticker sheets to mark that, I feel like. And then washi and then sticker sheets get their own sections. Whenever I watch Sims videos from Shop Spencer and Jude's, she always like remarks about how she loves sticker sheets of sticker sheets. I also love them, and I have a whole section for them in here. Well, I don't have that many sheets of actual sticker sheets, but like I love seeing them. They're so fun. So that's where they go. And then over here, not lastly, we have cutting machines by themselves. I didn't put just silhouettes because like some of these are cameos too, I feel like, or they exist. And I do eventually want to get not cameos, portraits I'm talking about, because these are all silhouettes right now, but I want to eventually get portraits because they're cheaper and get like several of them. And they still get the job done, because you need multiple machines, because if you have one, it has issues, and when it doesn't work, you need another one that does, until you can figure out the issue. And then we have combine and printing and cutting stickers down here, which is mostly just the Happy Daya sheets. And I guess there's one Fox and Pip in there too. Alright, now this is lastly, we have planners and planning. So we have a whole wide section just for planners themselves. I don't know why I'm trying to flip through that, because y'all are not supposed to see every single sticker sheet yet. And then one for planning. So this is like actively having your planner out and going through your planner. So that is that for my planning section. And now actually, lastly, the very last section in my normal character sticker organization, we have animals. This is a new section that I just created. I had an animals section in my miscellaneous section, but it was just like 1/4, and it had like all this stuff in it, and it was getting really chunky, and I wanted to split it up. And also I had my pets section already, so I just decided to combine them all into one section, and it just made more sense that way. I was originally gonna include my pets stickers in the people section and make it just like a family and friends section, but I decided the animals needed their own category. So we have the miscellaneous sheets right here. There are a lot of them. I think the first one is just onesies, or like mostly it's supposed to be just onesies, and then the rest are kind of just random. And then we do have a section just for dogs. I don't really like dogs that much. I know, controversial opinion, but like everybody has a dog, and I'll probably have to get a dog at some point. I want to go to my parents' house. We usually walk their dog in the morning as like a family walk, so I needed at least dog walking stickers to mark that. And then I have a section just for sharks, because I'm obsessed with sharks, and I just collect all the shark stickers, so there's a lot in there. And then here are the rest of the animals, and just generic animals. And then cats and snakes are the rest of it, because I love cats. I'm obsessed with cats. My parents' cats are basically my cats, or at least one of them is. And I do want cats, obviously, of my own at some point. So I've kind of separated those out already. So we have cat food, cat litter, vet, and then we have cats and cat scripts. And then I have one section for Anastasia, actually. One section for my ball python, Anastasia. So that's really all she needs, because not many people have snake stickers, let me tell you. Not that many. So I've got a few of snakes. I've got a ton of scripts in here. It's mostly scripts. And then one of this, because I need to mark when she does that in my planner, because it's not that often. And yeah. And then, of course, I have my own little snake sheet that I made for her, too, in there. And so that is the end of the official sections. The rest of the stuff is kind of miscellaneous, so I'll kind of flip through that. These are stickers that I made for myself back when I very first started planning. I still like act like I'm gonna use them, so I'm probably not, but they're there just in case. Here we have mostly just like logos and stickers that you get from samplers or from packaging. I just save them, I don't know why. I guess if I want to mark getting Fox and Cactus Happy Meal, I can do that 5 million times with these. And then just random leftover stickers up here, and then stickers that I, for some reason, didn't throw away. And then we have, I guess, just 2 random sticker sheets, printable sticker sheets that I got from when I first started planning. I would get a lot of printables that I wouldn't necessarily buy now, but I don't know, I guess I've used some of them, so I still keep them around. I feel like I would use this as deco if I didn't have deco for a certain kit, which is very true of photo kits. And then this is like my truly miscellaneous, like one-off stickers. Like if I get one sticker from a sampler sheet that doesn't fit into any particular category, then I stick it on this sheet, and I never remember to look at this sheet, but I kind of have an idea of what's on here. So if I am looking for like a volunteer sticker, then I kind of remember that I have one on this sheet. So that's what this is. I have a lot of the bigger paper shower stickers on here. And then I had a pretty big Fox and Pip like sampler sheet of all the stickers you would need in 1 week, according to her. So I guess I just put these all out on here instead of separating them out into category, which is kind of stupid of me because I've never used that. So I should probably do that. And then over here, we have miscellaneous functional. I did not know where to put the zombie mermaids on laptops. I mean, and they're also reading. And just, I guess, on the couch. Like, you can understand why I would have no idea where to put this. So it's not really functional, but that's where it goes. Then I have these Mandy Dreams heart arrows, and then this spending tracker from Coffee Monsters Co. that I say I'm going to use, but I'm probably not going to use because that's just not how I plan. And then I have miscellaneous deco in here, so just random deco that I got from probably a D-stash, random bows from like samplers and stuff, and then my own sheet of bow dividers. Just random scripts in here. These are mostly sidebar scripts, almost exclusively sidebar scripts. And then just random ones from samplers that are in black. Sometimes I actually do try to put these into the categories now on the miscellaneous sheets, but these are just ones that I have not done that with. And then this is hoarding, so this is for like, this is mostly kid stuff right now, because like I don't have kids in my life, so I don't need sections for all this kid stuff, but like these shops were discontinuing these certain sheets, and there's like car stuff in there too, but they were discontinuing them, so I decided I wanted to buy it now for the future. So hoarding. And then we have wide overstock. Originally, all of this overstock was in wide overstock, but it was just falling out left and right, so I needed to separate it out further. So if I ever get wide overstock, it's going to go here. I have loyalty cards in here, and then this really pretty business card that I saved. I have to remember to like actually use these. That's no longer accurate. Didn't realize this little label sticker was on here. That's from, I guess, when I very, very first started labeling. That's so interesting. This is like probably removable matte paper too, if I could ever get it up. There we go. All right, we'll flash back to the past there. So then overstock has now been relegated to these pockets right here. It's still pretty thick on this. I might need a second sheet for this. But I do have this kind of separated out, I feel like. I think this is planning. This is all planning overstock right here. I think this is food overstock. No, it's not. This is random overstock. This is scripts and food. And then this is job. This is like work overstock. Yep. So that's all my overstock, which is a lot, and I have to remember that I actually have these sheets here, because I don't know if I will. These are all mostly just if a sticker sheet is getting discontinued from a shop, I'll buy them all out if I know that I'm going to need them and nobody else has them. Or if I know I'm going to go through a sheet fast, I'll just get 2. Some are accidents that I've gotten to. Just kind of stuff like that. And then, yeah, I guess I have an extra couple sheets back here too. This giant sheet of desserts that I'm probably never going to use because they're so big. Maybe as deco, that'd be cute. And then black and white striped tigers, which are like, tigers are my favorite animal, but black and white striped ones I have a special affinity for because all my stuffed animals were these growing up. So I just had to keep that whole sheet. And yeah, so that is the end of character sticker binder number 3. I'm probably going to go over the holiday one next, see how much I can fit into one video. Okay, so lastly, let's go into holidays, events, and seasonal character stickers. So in this side pocket, I don't have any actual sheets, just miscellaneous backing sheets that I can use if I need to. So firstly, we have Christmas. So we have all kinds of various super specific like Christmas time things in here. Some are Christmas related, some are like everyday but made Christmas. So they all go into this like pretty enormous category. It is my favorite holiday after all. Let me see if I can get a better angle on that for you guys, if that helps a little bit. So yeah, it is my favorite holiday, favorite season, time of year. So I need the most stickers for that, clearly. So we have Christmas computers or laptops mostly, Christmas baking, so like all the gingerbread stuff is in here. There's quite a lot in there, but there's also other types of cookies, Christmas cookies, I think. We have Christmas flat lays. I don't know why there's miscellaneous in front of there. It is just a whole bunch of Christmas flat lays. Christmas couples. I feel like I want this section to be bigger, but there's a lot of cute stuff in here. Of course, all the guys, like literally every single one does not look like my boyfriend, so that's great. I'm gonna have to buy a whole new bunch for those, but that's okay. Then we have a wide section for Christmas movies, because a lot of shops have their samplers wide. And then Christmas activity samplers, so these are just various sampler sheets of things you do around the Christmas season, kind of like bucket lists almost. Then we have Christmas countdowns that I don't really use, but I guess I could. It would be kind of fun if I had the room to do that. And then Christmas Happy Mail, which is something I definitely want to be a bigger section, because I get a lot of Happy Mail, and when it's around the Christmas season, I want it to be like special and festive, and these stickers are like way too big, so I need more. And now I did a really funny thing when I originally had my organization set up, because I had Christmas and then I had a whole nother section just for holiday themed stuff, like holiday season, which really is just Christmas season, so I don't know why I had it separated out. So some of this stuff, this labeling kind of makes sense, but some of it doesn't. So this is like holiday bucket list, so it's mostly just like, I feel like Christmas bucket lists, but there's like some like winter bucket list stuff in here too. It's all kind of mixed. So I mean, I'm not gonna relabel all of these because it just seems like a waste of time to relabel all of them, because like I know what's in it, but just know that like it may not be super accurate. So then we have holiday deco, so like winter and Christmas deco essentially. I have my miscellaneous deco sheets on the back here so I can see them better, because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of samplers that have random Christmas stickers on them. So over here we have holiday baking flat lays. So there's like Christmas baking and then there's holiday baking flat lays, and I'm like, why do these need to be separate so far apart? But there they are. Gift wrapping. This is specifically Christmas gift wrapping. Holiday activities. I guess food is in here too. I don't have like a savory holiday food section, but this is like writing thank you notes. Nutcracker stuff is in there, and then just like decorating with Christmas stuff mostly. This is holiday everyday, so this is just everyday stuff made Christmas. So this is what I use for working as a cashier around Christmas time, festive studying and stuff, planning, and I think there's some, is there chores in here? Maybe there isn't. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's reading. Not a whole lot in there. Like I said, I wish that shops would come out with more stuff that would fit kind of in that category. Holiday drinks. This is essentially just my hot cocoa section. I have like 1 million like Christmas themed mugs and stuff. That's like either Christmas themed like Starbucks drinks or what I use for hot cocoa. So it's kind of annoying that this is in its own section in the holiday section, in the holiday binder, because I drink hot cocoa like throughout the whole year. So it's really annoying having to go into this binder like just for that. But that's just kind of how I have it, because it is what I consider a holiday drink. And then we have ice skating. I love ice skating. Holiday shopping, really just Christmas shopping. And then holiday gift wrapping too. So I guess I have flat lays, yeah, and gift wrapping as their own individual sections. And that is it for Christmas for now. You know, every year I feel like people come out with more holiday stuff, so that may expand. Now we have other holidays, non-Christmas holidays. Teeny tiny little sections for Valentine's Day, St. Patty's, Easter, and 4th of July. Because if a shop does come out with a sheet for these holidays, it's going to be like one sheet, and so like you're not going to do much to decorate St. Patrick's Day, so there's not a ton going on there. But yeah, tiny little sections for that. Of course, Halloween is like the biggest section imaginable. Like literally, it gets 2 whole quarter sheets because people go ham for Halloween. They really do. I don't know why. It's so crazy to me. But yeah, so we have just generic Halloween, Halloween food and drinks, Halloween everyday, Halloween laptops, which I guess kind of are part of Halloween everyday, but there's enough that they get their own category. Halloween books, same thing, and Happy Meal. And movies, of course, is a rather big section. And then, of course, movie marquees is separate. And then here we have holiday overstock. So these are 2 wide pockets as well. So just some quarter sheets in here, and this is, I think, holiday movies overstock in there. And then we have a wide one for Thanksgiving. There's a bit more for Thanksgiving. And then New Year's Eve, there is a bit more for New Year's, although these are like collected from previous years, so there are some dates on here that are no longer accurate, like 2020. And then this is generic holiday samplers, so it's like a mix of all holidays. And then this is other holidays that I don't really need to create a whole section for, like Hanukkah, Juneteenth and everything. And then random holidays, like I'm not going to create whole sections just for those. And now we can move into seasons. So this is a really, well, it's a really lopsided section, let me tell you, because spring, there's like maybe 5 spring sticker sheets in here. There's not a ton for spring. I don't really mark a lot for spring. Summer, again, not really. I do keep a lot of my pool stickers in here, along with like summer bucket lists and stuff. I do have a water activity section, like I said, but there's a ton of wide sheets in here, and I did not choose to make that one a wide section, so I just chose to leave them in here, and hopefully I'll remember that they exist when I need like pool stickers. And then we have winter, again, a very teeny tiny section, but fall is another category that people really go ham for when they make stickers. So we have generic fall, we have fall home, fall planning, fall food, a whole section just for the pumpkin spice latte, of course, surprising no one, fall bucket list, fall flat lays, fall dividers, Charlie Brown, for whatever reason, gets its own section. And my goodness, I just think it's funny because like when I have to do so many sections based on one little thing, it's like, it's always different. Because like I have fall flat lays, but I don't have Halloween flat lays. I have fall dividers, but I don't have a section for Halloween dividers or Halloween planning or Halloween home. It's just so funny to me, like thinking about that. And whatever had in there, like Halloween movie marquees, like there's no fall movie marquees, or just, you know, stuff like that. It's so funny to me to see how that ends up, but it just depends on what shops are making. So that's seasons, and now this is event. This is the very last section. So this is just any other kind of event. I imagine this section will grow as, you know, I attend more events and get stickers for those. But right now we have just a teeny tiny one for Disney Vacation, but that may grow in the future as I buy more Disney Vacation stickers. Haven't been in a really long time. Same for wedding. You know, if I end up planning a wedding for myself at some point, this section may grow, but right now it's really small. Birthday, for some reason, is so big it needed 3 sections. So we have just birthday generically, and then we have party generically, and then presents also generically. So these could be used for other situations that are not birthday specific, but I just think it's so funny how people are making all these birthday stickers when it's like the least marked event ever. Like you just put 1 sticker in 1 box for somebody's birthday usually, and like that's the most that you use birthday stickers for. And this is planning event. So like PlannerCon, which I did attend, I used this sheet a lot for PlannerCon, and also Go Wild. So there's the Go Wild sheet, and that is what I want to attend at some point in the future. So there's that. And then, like I said, party and presents, and then destinations in here. I have a lot of stickers on my wish list for this category, so it's kind of sparse right now. But I have Venice, which is my favorite city in the world. think that's New York, and then Texas, and then San Francisco. Yeah, and then more San Francisco, because it's a city that I need to explore more of, and I really love exploring San Francisco. So that is it. And that is it for the holiday binder. Kind of small, but room to grow, of course, because like I said, people are going to be coming out with more stuff for specific holidays, I feel like, because that's kind of an untapped market that they could make a lot of money off of. So it's going to be a thing that they do. So that is it for all of my character sticker storage. I think I will probably have time to show you my foil and then one kit binder for this video. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, so I do have my foil separated into two binders. The first one is loose foil and the second one is foil bundles. So first we're going to go over just generically foil. This is my 3-incher, one of my two 3-inch binders, because I do have an enormous amount of foil, as you will see. And honestly, it's already like almost too thick. Like I may need a whole nother binder just to split it even more, but we will see. So the first 4 sections are like the 4 main foil colors: gold, silver, rose gold, and hollow. These sections are all identical in the amount of, or in the categories and the names of categories that they have. However, some of them are blank because I don't have stickers like for that category yet, but I intend to buy some just so I can have a nice stock of those specific foils in case I don't have a bundle anymore, you know, of gold, and I need like gold bottom washi tape or overlays that I can grab. So there is, however, a lot in a lot of these categories. So let's just kind of glance at gold. We have scripts. How I do my scripts is I do have them separated a little bit. I have the months up front. I have work generally gets its own little section, and then the rest is kind of random based on shop. Is how I do script storage. I don't have a ton of foiled scripts. I have a lot of black scripts, but not a ton of foiled. So I don't really have to work too hard at organizing these yet, but eventually I can see myself having to separate these out further. But right now they all just fit in a wide. And then all my random sampler scripts that I get go onto this miscellaneous sheet. Same with icons. They are vaguely a little bit separated out, and some of these are on white paper. But a lot of these are just leftover SBC icons from Wiggles and such. So there's that. And then next we have deco at the top. I keep all of my teeny tiny bows here that I like to put on character stickers. And then bigger bows, and then other random deco elements like stars and little hanging things and etc, etc. Then this is miscellaneous. So there are some samplers here that I haven't bothered to, you know, decant into other categories yet. Movie marquees are also in here, Macon banners and other miscellaneous elements, and then I also put the boxes in this section as well. And then we have one just for date covers. I don't really know why it needs its own section because I typically use the date covers that come in kits, but I guess I just bought these from Sadie Stickers at some point. I bought a whole bunch and now I need a whole category just for them. And then washi overlays. I also have like foiled washi strips from SBC in here too, so they're not really overlays, but they're washi, so there's that. And then we have full box overlays and coat overlays. These are separated out, so these don't typically have words, and these are just words. Header overlays and just solid headers, clearly. And then foil photo corners. I don't know why there's foil in here, because this is all foil, but photo corners are in here. And this is for dividers, flag overlays, date dots, and then habit trackers. And that's currently all I need to separate out my foil right now. Everything else can kind of go into miscellaneous. Silver is the same, so you have scripts, icons. I have a ton of silver icons, I guess, that I haven't really used. Deco, miscellaneous, date covers, bottom washi, full box, coat box, headers. See there, I just did photo corners. I was smart about that one. Dividers, flags, date dots, habit trackers. Oh, I guess I put movie marquees in here because, like, I guess I originally intended for them to have their own section, but I'm just going to go ahead and move these back to miscellaneous because that's where they were in the gold section. So there we go. And then rose gold. I don't think I have enough. I haven't gone through my samplers and stuff to decant this stuff onto miscellaneous sheets, because I don't think I have really enough to justify that. So these don't have miscellaneous sheets, and they don't really even have a lot in them either, because rose gold, I don't know, it's not a very often used foil, and not a lot of people do foil for that too. And then so there's deco and miscellaneous. I think this is so funny. I don't have rose gold date covers, so I just put the movie marquees in there, but I am gonna move those into miscellaneous. Again, clearly I can't decide where to put the freaking movie marquees. Like, they've been in a different place with each color. So we just have the bottom washi overlays, full box, quote box, headers, photo corners, dividers, flags, date dots, and habit trackers. Hollow, same thing, haven't really had enough to decant, or I guess I just haven't used the time for that. Scripts, icons, there's barely any hollow icons, which is sad. Deco, miscellaneous, washi overlays, again, no date covers quite yet. Full box overlays, quote overlays, headers. I don't have header overlays, I just have these headers. And I have barely any photo corners too. Barely any dividers. I have flag overlays, date dots, and habit trackers, which I guess I've used 2 of. It's so funny. But I haven't touched, the gold ones. And then these last 4 sections are just like categories of foil. So here we have event foil. So I'm trying to think, because clearly this is meant to be Disney washi overlays, but because the rest of this is Disney pretty much, but it just says washi overlays, so oh well. There we go, that's what that is. And then all my foil seals are in here, so when I do Happy Meal and I need to put a seal on it, this is where I go. I have quite the collection in here. I love using these. And so yeah, most of this is pretty much Disney. So there's the wide Disney section, essentially. Random Disney also goes in there. Disney scripts. These are not Disney movie scripts, these are Disney parks. Like, all this is Disney parks pretty much. Disney quote boxes, full box overlays, deco, header overlays. And then the other events we have our birthday and travel. And these are new, wedding and pregnancy. I just decided to put in here because I had enough that I was hoarding, so they needed their own sections. And these are all in various foils, although Disney is pretty much exclusively silver. There's some gold, I think. And then these are mixed. So pop culture. So I did just make a generic movies and TV section. Here we have Disney movies specifically. And then we have Harry Potter. There's a lot of Harry Potter stuff. So we have full box overlays, bottom washi, header overlays, deco, and scripts. And then there's just an empty one for whatever else I come across. Seasonal. This is like a very nice and neat section, I feel like. So we have the season scripts and then the season. Just super easy. Spring scripts, spring. Again, I'm never quite sure where to put these because these aren't scripts, but they are words only. But they're kind of like just quote box overlays, so you could put anywhere in the quote box, which is super cool. Summer scripts and summer. You can clearly tell like what foils I like to get the holidays in, or not the seasons in. So spring I like to get pink or rose gold. Summer I like to get gold. Fall I like to get gold also. Or if there's orange and red, I'll choose that. And then winter is also silver or hollow. So I have a ton of winter because like I like to get everything in silver and hollow just in case. And yeah, some scripts for that. So yeah, I shall probably separate out the winter stuff at some point because this is getting really thick. And then we have holiday specific. So yeah, Christmas is separated out further. Here we have just holiday sampler sheets right here. Here we have wide and generic Christmas stuff in here. Christmas scripts, which are really mostly Christmas movies, and there's some Christmas bucket lists in here. Bottom washi overlays. I like to get these in gold and silver, by the way, all the Christmas stuff. Sometimes rose gold too. Full box overlays, coat overlays, dividers, header overlays, and then that's for Christmas. So Then we have Valentine's Day. There's a bit in that. 4th of July, there's also a bit in that. And the Halloween, of course, everyone goes ham, so it gets more sections also. So Halloween scripts and bottom washi overlays both get wide. I also have my Bushi boxes in there too, just because it's where it fits. Because I don't have just a generic Halloween wide section for foil. And then we have deco, header overlays, coat overlays, and full box overlays. Clearly I put these in a different place for each section. And then other holidays are New Year's and Thanksgiving. Not a ton for each of those, but even less for St. Patty's Day, just the one. And then Easter. Easter has a little bit. So yeah, that is it for my main foil storage. Curious to see if Sparkly Hollow is going to make the cut as the 5th like base foil, or like what else might take that spot, or if we'll just have 4 forever. I don't know. Place your bets now. I'm curious what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be silver, or not silver. I don't think it's going to be Sparkly Hollow, so we'll see. Okay, so let's get into foil bundles. I guess I'm going to show you all of them, although I don't really mean to do that. I'll quickly like flip through all of them without really explaining. But yeah, I don't really have these in a particular order. I like kind of group some of the foil colors together, but then like I might have a group of the same ones later on, because just chronologically that's how I added them to this binder, because I don't want to reorganize everything every single time. But yeah, I don't use these too often, but my goal is to just, you know, just flip through until one catches my eye that seems to match the kit that I'm working with. So that's how I intend to use this binder. So it's not like super organized, but it's, you know, they're all here. So they're all in one binder. And they are from a few different shops. I think I mostly just have SPC and Siggy Sloth designs, although there's some that I've created just haphazardly from Sadie Stickers too. I don't know, anything else we'll explain as we come across, but yeah. So I have some pinks, greens. Oh, I have a lot of greens. I love green. There's a lot of pink and purple, I've noticed. Got some nice blues in there. There's some matte ones in here that I haven't used yet, and I don't know if I will, but I'm holding on to them anyway. I've got like my 15 orange ones, just because I don't want to ever run out of orange. Tons of rainbow for the same reason. Like a million shades of this teal mint green. Purples, reds, random. Yeah, here's the ones I've made from Sadie Stickers. More random colors, more greens, because you're never gonna have enough greens. And then fun foils. I just have these random sheets for random fun foil scripts, because like I'm not gonna make a whole, not scripts but sheets, I'm not gonna make a whole section just for like all my pink foils when I have just like 2 or 3 loose sheets of pink foils. So these are not really organized in a particular way. I guess I like to put the pinks here, the ones on matte backgrounds here, and then just the rest are kind of like random in here, but hopefully I'll remember to, you know, look through these when I'm doing my spreads. But yeah, so that's kind of my foil bundle storage, which is pretty random right now, but it did need its own binder because I have enough. So lastly, I'm going to give you a little overview of how I store my kits. Now, the majority of my binders are kit binders, I believe. I will probably show you just my whole bookshelf later so you can see all the titles. Look, there's one of my hair stuck in there. LOL. I'm not gonna be able to fish that out ever. But yeah, so the majority of my binders are kit binders because I have 1 million kits, enough to last me the whole rest of my life, like I've said. And so all of my kit binders are like really thick because like I haven't quite pulled the trigger on separating them out even further into a whole nother binder, because like I don't know, it's been a nightmare trying to reorganize these guys. But I do have like literally 50 kits or whatever coming in, so I'm gonna have to probably anyways. So let me just show you how I store these. This is probably my thinnest kit binder that has multiple sections in it. My anytime binder is the thinnest, but this one is just pop culture and travel, which don't really seem to go together, but they were 2 sections that like fit well enough in one binder that that's just what made sense. So got our page lifter, and I wanted to show you one that had sections just so you can see that it's pretty much the exact same. So I do have a ton of sections in this binder. We have just generic pop culture, Harry Potter, of course, gets its own super thick section. This actually might be a binder at some point. And then we have shows, like TV shows, books, which is a pretty small section, travel, which is actually a pretty big section. I have like a lot of destination kits in there. And then Disney parks. So I couldn't just put Disney. I had to specify that these were kits for the Disney parks, just so I would understand what was there. So yeah, I essentially just have them in these pockets, in the wide pockets. Pretty much all of them fit pretty perfectly. Sometimes if I have them in a big cello, they kind of crinkle up like that, but I don't really care because they're fine. They're fine. I could get a smaller cello, but it's fine. And I do double them up, so there's one on each side, because if I didn't do that, I would go through twice as many of these pockets, and Lord knows I can't add those to these binders. Like, that would just stress it too much. So yeah, so this random pop culture section, I guess, has video game stuff, Super Mario, Animal Crossing, Snoopy, just randomly in here. And then this is just like generically royal, so I could use that for really any pop culture thing. Same for kind of this stuff. So this was another thing I wanted to show you, is that we have these these normal wide pockets that you can buy, but then I also created my own wider pockets, just by buying the 8.5 by 11 sheets from the same brand, or pockets from the same brand, and then I used the fuse tool. Who's it by? We Are Memory Keepers, I think. So you can buy the fuse tool, and essentially I fused this shut so that this is its own pocket, and then I sliced this so that we created another pocket. So essentially it's just the same thing, but wide enough to fit these wider kits. Like Little Paper Prince, they're like just a bit too wide to fit into these pockets, so they need bigger pockets, so I just made some. So Little Paper Prince is one of them. A lot of my printable shops that I like to buy from have wider kits. I think La La Land has wider kits. And Cricut Paper Co. is another one that you may know of. Her kits are really wide as well. So it just makes sense to just have my own pockets for such things, as opposed to trying to find funny ways to store them. I just want it all in one place, all standard. So that is that. I'm not going to show you, I think, any other kits. Like, here's an example of the Cricut Paper Co. that fits. Like, this size fits pretty much all the other wide kits. And yeah, here's more Little Paper Prints back here. Yeah, I'm not going to show you any more actual sections, because that would be a spoiler and also would take forever. But you will see all of my kits in a future video. But this is just how I organize them. And it's a nice system that works for me, although, I don't have enough binders. But yes, so that is actually pretty much it. I think that's all I'm going to show you for this organization video, except I will show you my my binders on my bookshelf right now, so you can see all the ones that I have that I will show you in a future video. Okay guys, so here we are looking at all of my binders on my shelves. I honestly do not really have enough room for all of them and all the other stuff I need to store, so they're kind of all over the place and falling on each other, but that is just what I have to work with for now. So hopefully the lighting is okay, because it is nighttime, but I do have my my daylight bulbs on, so hopefully you can at least see what you need to see, which is not very much, which is just the titles. So we've got my 3-inch binder for Disney movie kits, which is honestly getting really thick, and I probably need to split it up soon, definitely after like some of the next orders I'm placing. We have my other 3-inch for foil. This one is just for seasonal and event kits. This is also like way too thick, because both of those are combined, so I may just split those into seasonal and then one for events in the future. I have one for just holiday kits, also very thick due to the Christmas kits and Halloween, I think. Pop culture and travel, I think that's the one I showed you. Characters 1, 2, and 3, and then these are just movie kits, so non-Disney movies in here. This is for extra pockets and page protectors and everything like that. This one is my 4th character binder for holidays, events, and seasonal. All of my wiggles and such are in here. Functional, which I haven't shown you, and then anytime is here. So that's kind of a preview of all of the categories of like kits mostly that you will see in a future video. For functional, I have kit leftovers in here. Not all of them, but some of them, and just basically random kit parts that I'm saving to kind of piece together some Franken spreads in the future. So yeah, that's kind of a sneak preview of a future video and how I store my binders on my shelves. Okay, so now that we're done looking at that, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you in this video. It is a really long video, but it is kind of really important, I feel like, for a planning channel to have an organization video, and y'all really wanted it, so here you go. So happy to finally have that out for you. I don't anticipate my sticker storage changing up that much in the future. If there's a big change, I'll do a video on it, but I anticipate it'll stay this way for quite a long time, so I don't really think I'll have to do like an update video in a while, so hopefully this lasts for the next few years or so at least. But yeah, I really like this system. I think it works for me. I think a lot of other people do the same kind of binder system. A lot of people do albums too, but this just makes a lot more sense for how many stickers I have, I feel like. Yeah, if you have any suggestions on like how to improve this or what you would do with, you know, this volume, or how you would separate things out more maybe, just go ahead and leave your suggestions below, because I'm always open to ideas on that sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be fantastic, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.